Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or for short, SGA. He's the face of the most dominant team currently running circles around the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder. And after capturing the most ultimate prize by taking home both regular season MVP and finals MVP last year, Shai looks like a strong bet to go back-to-back for the league's most elite individual honors. So far this season, SGA appears to have added yet another level to his offensive game, posting a career high from three and knocking down a lethal 45% from deep. All the while, the Thunder are once again the best defensive team in the league, another area where SGA's impact truly shines. So, after a scorching hot and potentially record-setting start to the 2025-2026 NBA season, it was only right to bring out OKC's MVP and take him into the random rec to recreate that smooth, cool, and controlled game on the court. And like I always say, I'll never play the meta or make meta builds. So if you do enjoy more of a realistic playstyle in NBA 2K, consider hitting that subscribe button, dropping a like on this video, and in the comment section, let me know what NBA player you would like to see me bring to life next. And all right, y'all, so here is our realistic SGA build here on the screen. As you guys see, it is called a two-way mid-range menace. And here are the stats that we currently have on our build after some cap breakers. We have bumped our mid-range up to an 89. We also have 93 on the perimeter defense, as well as that 85 steal rating. And one of my favorite things that we do have on this build is that long wingspan that Shai plays with in real life. We have a 6'11 wingspan in our build out here, so it's really gonna help us out on defense. If you guys do want the full build breakdown on this build, going down over all the cap breakers and everything like that, I have optimized this build to last all year, and just like all my builds, it is going to have access to all of SGA's animations on day one, so no cap breakers are necessary if you want to use the Shai build. And after that, moving over to the badges, you guys can see because of that 93 perimeter defense, we have ourselves gold challenger as well as gold on-ball menace. We also have ourselves that gold interceptor badge, which is really nice. And then sliding over here to our max plus ones and our max plus twos, I have not quite hit level 35. I think I'm like at 33 or 34, so we're almost there. Once I do have that badge slot unlocked, I will be putting that on our shifty shooter, which will bump it up to the Hall of Fame level. So for today's gameplay, we're going to be having that gold shifty shooter out there, but I promise y'all, we are able to recreate his mid-range game just fine out there on the court. We also have that legend float game badge, which is really nice, getting into the paint, being able to pop those floaters up because we're not going to be catching any contact dunks out there. And moving over to our takeover, because we did go with that 83 ball on our build, we have ourselves that sharpshooter takeover, which is really nice. You guys are going to see. And when our takeover is active, we're going to have an 85 3 ball, a 95 on the mid-range, as well as that 90 speed with ball. And then last but not least, of course, in order to recreate Shai's game realistically out there in the random rec, we got to have all of his animations that they do have available in the game. For the post-fade, I know he has his own post-fade animation, so we're just going to be waiting until they release that into my career. And of course, I'll be bringing gameplay once that is released. But yeah, it's going to be it for the rundown of the build. Now we got to hop out there into the random rec. We have ourselves 4 random rec games today, absolutely going off with our realistic Shai build out there, recreating his game. So let's get right into it. And here we go, our first random rec game out here with the reigning MVP. You guys see our first game, we're going to be matched up against a Cade Cunningham build. So a cool little NBA matchup for this first game out here. Another point guard who has some really good size on him. I think he's listed at 6'6", but Cade might be 6'7". Maybe he looks a little bit taller because he does have that long hair. But nonetheless, first possession out here, we're going to be creating immediately as we do pick up our first assist of this ball game now late into this first quarter. You guys see it takes us a little bit to get involved in the scoring in this one, but once we do get into a scoring rhythm with this Shai build, it is so much fun. But right here, we're going to get ourselves a nice little driving kick. The corner man's going to come down, try to cut us off. So of course we got to dot up the corner right there. Now, start of this second quarter, we're going to get ourselves a beautiful little Euro step animation right there as we're able to get our first 2 points on the game, slash into the basket, putting some pressure on the rim just like Shai does in real life. And of course, in real life, Shai, he does rack up a lot of free throws, definitely the most controversial part of his game. We will be able to get some free throws out here in the gameplay today, but obviously it's not as easy in 2K, so we're not going to just have an insane amount of free throws all game. We're going to be using a lot of skill out here to get some open shots from the mid-range, from 3, and obviously slash into the hoop right here in transition. We're able to get a nice little pump fake down low, playing with some patience like Shai does in real life, and of course that amazing footwork that he has once he gets into the paint or in that mid-range area. So now going to a go-to shot right here, we cancel out of it, then we go immediately with that Euro step Gold Mixmaster lighting up right there as we're able to knock that one down. Now a wide open pull up in the mid range. Shai's pull up animation, it is so clean when you're fading to the right. It's such a quick animation, so if you do decide to put that on, just be ready because it is very quick, but it is a lot of fun to use out here. Obviously he's a cover athlete, so all of his pro play animations, they do look great this year in the game. It's right here. We're going to go with a little pump fake in the corner and then show off that legend float game badge right there with a nice floater for our 10th point of the game. Now look at the dribble moves from Shai. Beautiful highlight right here as we're mixing up Cade Cunningham right there, able to get that nice little layup over the rotating defender to finish it off for our 12th point of the game. First highlight of the game right there is our teammate. He is able to get to the free throw line right there. So now with 12 points, 3 assists on the game. Once again, we have ourselves legend float game. We might as well make use of it once again. We won't be picking up any contact dunks with our build, so it's smart to pull out that floater when we need to finish over some defenders in the paint. Now our team's going to show off some really good rim protection there with the block, but unfortunately we aren't able to come up with the rebound. So currently up by 2 in this third quarter. Shai once again being patient down low, seeing if we can get anyone up in the air to draw a foul, but no one jumped, so we might as well throw it back to our wide open teammate off the rotation. He's going to be wide open and knock that one down. Now with our takeover active, you guys see we're able to drop Cade Cunningham right there. That is why I love this sharpshooter takeover so much. Whenever a build needs it, we're obviously going to be putting it on in order to get those ankle breakers out there. Shai, he has one of the best handles in the NBA, so very realistic move for that 3 ball right there. But we do give up a 3 in the corner right before the end of this third quarter. We're going to make up for it. Some bad defense. Goal set shot specialist lighting up right there in transition at the end of that third quarter. So now start of this fourth right here. Once again, we're using the pump fake. Once we get into the paint, we have a 6'6" point guard on us. I'm sure he's got some block on his build, so we want to make sure that we're being patient down there, not getting blocked at the rim. You guys see we're currently shooting 83% from the field. Very efficient game out here for Shai as we try to close this one out and once again go back to that legend float game badge. We had a little bit of space in the mid-range, but we're just going to be patient, get all the way to the rim. A much higher percentage shot right there with that legend float game. And now some more driving kick action right there, passing it over to the corner for our 7th assist of the game. And now with a 7-point lead, we're going to cook up a little bit more right here with Shai. Our takeover is active. Defense comes over, beautiful pass right there to our cutting teammate, and he's able to finish that one off with a dunk. But later in this fourth quarter, with 2 minutes remaining, they're going to get themselves an easy dunk off the inbound pass, and just like that, our lead is cut to 6. So now we're going to slow up the tempo a little bit with Shai, go to our go-to shot in the mid-range. That's exactly where he makes his money, in the mid-range right there, as we knock that one down with the green light for our 26th point of the game. We're able to extend our lead to 8. We're able to get a big contest right there on Cade Cunningham as he tries to get up that 3 ball. And look at this animation. I swear, off that step back, the center pulled him back even more as he was going to it. His own center pulled him back, and he was able to create so much space and knock down a 3. So Cade answers with the 3 ball. Shai coming back now, going with some nice dribble moves, slithering all the way into the paint. Even though it's not a green light, we're still able to knock that one down with Bronze Paint Prodigy lighting up, extending our lead to 7 out here. They're able to get it into the paint, finish with a close shot themselves though. So our lead is cut back to 5. Now with takeover active, Cade's going to put some pressure on us in the backcourt. I'm going to pass it up to our teammate, and that was a mistake as he turns it over. Cade gets loose in transition, and just like that, our lead is cut to 2. So now we're going to be really patient with the ball right here. Center picks us up, so I know that there's a mismatch off ball. I'm able to hit the power forward on a cut right here. Power forward makes a beautiful pass over to the corner. That was some great ball movement right there from the team as they're able to knock down a big 3 ball. And now with the lead being 3 on the game and 24 seconds remaining, we're going to get the ball into Shai's hands, and it's time for us to knock down our first free throws of today's gameplay. In the clutch, of course, Shai, we're going to be going to the line with that 82 free throw on our build, and we're going to go 2 of 2 right there. Obviously the green window with an 82 free throw, it is very big, and Shai's free throw animation, it is pretty easy to time. So we go 2 of 2 at the line right there, bumping our point total up to 30, and then we followed up with a great contest on Cade right there, Goal challenger lighting up. Even after we got an ankle breaker, we were able to get back into the play with that goal challenger, but we do give up a 3-ball on the inbound play right there. So the ball's going to be inbounded, immediately ends up back in Shai's hands as they trust us after our last trip to the line. And unfortunately, we're only going to go 1 of 2 at the line right here. So the MVP leaves the door open for our opponent as they could tie the game up with the 3-ball right here. But lucky for us, I don't know if the inbounder fell asleep. I don't know if it was just amazing defense from us, but we do force a 5-second violation. They send Shai back to the line. We're able to go 2 of 2 and finally put the dagger in this team. But a really close game out here for our first matchup, going up against Cade Cunningham. A lot of fun out there as we do pick up 33 points on the game, as well as 8 assists running that point guard position. Surprisingly, no steals, but you guys will see we are eventually going to rack up the defensive highlights as well. And so here we go, hopping into game number 2 out here in this first quarter. Our matchup this game, he has himself a 99 steal on his build. So I'm really trying to be protective with the ball in this one, just trying to see how often is he going to be reaching. And obviously we got to make sure that we stay aggressive the same way that Shai does in real life, as that paint wide open for us right there. We're able to go with a nice little Euro step and knock that one down, no problem. So now currently down by 7 at the end of this first quarter. That green window really shrunk on us right there as we floated that one up over 2 people, but legend float game, it's going to help us out to finish that one off. Now you guys see we're going to have the defender on our hip right here. He's only 6'2", so we're just going to use that little scoop layup animation, finishing with our left hand. Nice little animation right there from Shai. And now in transition, finishing off this first quarter, beautiful pass to the corner for this center, and unfortunately he cannot knock it down as we finish off that first quarter down by 6. So now we're still only at 1 assist for this game. We're going to look to continue to create out here for our teammates as we get a nice little dribble move right there, get that point guard leading, but we're wide open in the corner off the inbound. Might as well show off that 3-ball and that gold set shot specialist right there as we're able to calmly knock that one down. Another beautiful pass over here to the center. He absolutely was just not ready for that. I don't think he realized how open he was, and they're going to get a 3-ball off it. So we're going to be in a hole in the second game out here, currently down by 9, as we're going to pass the ball over to the shooting guard. He immediately throws a pass, and it's going to be a turnover. So we're going to have to continue to get some stops out here if we want to get back into this game, which we're able to do right here. Now Shai in transition, showing off that 70 driving dunk, and of course Shai's signature dunk package. Nice little 2-handed finish right there. Now moving over a little bit off ball, our defender falls asleep on us, and we're able to knock that one down for our 14th point. Now our opponent is going to hit some crazy dribble moves. When someone this is short, you basically have to jump before they even shoot it in order to get a contest. So we're able to get a contest right there. Corner closeout, we're able to get right by them and finish that one off with a layup to cut their lead to 7. So now with 2 minutes left in this first half, our own defense falls asleep, leaving that small forward wide open, and he is what was torching us all game. Our own small forward, he really just couldn't guard him. So you guys are going to see a little bit later in this game, we're going to be trying to help him out on defense. But right here, some more good drive and kick action from SGA as the ball's hopping over to the corner. And finally, our center is able to knock down an open 3-ball. So now with our deficit currently at 7, we're trying to cut into their lead a little bit more. We're going to get ourselves a nice little Euro step. Physical finisher lighting up. We do have silver physical finisher on our build as our shooting guard is able to knock down a big 3-ball right there to end off that first half as we're going to be down by 5. You guys see Shai out there with 18 points, only 1 assist. We have made some nice passes though in that first half. Unfortunately, our teammates were just not able to capitalize as we come out here in the second half, almost throw a turnover. We're able to get it back. Shooting guard still open, so then we're able to dot him up for our second assist of the game. Shooting guard was absolutely knocked down. He had himself a high 3-ball, so we're going to be looking for him when he's open throughout this game. But once again, I told you guys, that small forward was absolutely killing ours as we get some good space right here, a little bit transition action, swinging the ball over along the baseline, taking 1 step in and knocking down that mid-range dumper as we are once again down by 5. Small forward's going to be looking looking to cook with his takeover active. He's hitting those step backs, finally mistimes the jumper out here. We're going to be wide open on the wing, but our teammate's going to take that one in for the easy dunk. So now their lead is 3. Once again, we need to get ourselves another stop to get a chance at tying this one up or cutting it to 1. Center plays some great defense. Power forward comes up the rebound. Ball ends up in Shai's hands. Beautiful pump fake and stepping right in for that mid-range. That is exactly where Shai is going to be making his money from, with that 89 mid-range on our build. So now with the third quarter starting to wind down right here, we're able to get ourselves another tough finish in the paint. Silver physical finisher lighting up right there, as the green window was absolutely massive with our 88 driving layup. Now you guys see we're going to come over, help off our man. That small forward was absolutely cooking. We're able to get a contest with our goal challenger, and you guys see we do have our takeover active. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you miss a shot, it absolutely feels like you're going to miss it right away. And some other times when you miss, it feels like you timed it perfectly and it says rushed or very late or very early, whatever it was. And that was absolutely one of those situations right there where I was shocked that we mistimed it that bad. I thought we for sure greened that one. So now we got to make up for it at the end of this third quarter. We're going to take the lead with another scoop layup animation right there. With Shai, we have the height advantage on our matchup, so we're going to absolutely be using that length to our advantage, as well as our 6'11" wingspan. So now in this fourth quarter, currently up by 3, playing some defense up against the opposing point guard. Once again, I just don't understand what it is sometimes with defense. We have ourselves goal challenger. I jump. It doesn't even register as a contest. Sometimes you just got to jump before the point guard even goes into his animation, I guess. But right here, you guys see our center is going to get absolutely bailed out with a foul right there. It really wasn't a good shot or a take from him, but nonetheless, we are going to keep our lead at 2 in this fourth quarter with 1:45 left. Nice little hop step animation in the paint right there to push our point total up to 28. We also have 4 assists on the game. Two-way tenacity, it is active. So now we're trying to play some good defense on the opposing point guard. Ball gets swung over to the small forward. You guys know that he's going to be looking for that 3 ball. Absolutely breaks off our small forward with that step back that he absolutely spams every time he touches the ball. So now our lead is 1. We're going to be patient right here, pushing up the ball, not forcing any shots. The ball ends back up in Shai's hands. We're going to try to go to a go-to shot in the mid-range. Unfortunately, we do time that one early as we try to get ourselves an ankle breaker right there. So our lead is going to stay at 1 with 28 points on the game. We got to make sure that we play some good defense on this inbound possession right here. The ball's going to end up in the center's hands, back to the small forward. He's going to do his dance that he does every single time. This time he's going to be off. Now we're out in transition. Big dunk right here as we're open in the corner. And that's going to be some really good rim protection as they save 2 points. And we are down by 1. 48 seconds remain. The ball's going to end up in Shai's hands eventually. And we're going to try to hit the power forward on the other side of the court. But look at the small forward coming up with a huge steal. A massive error right there from the MVP in crunch time, as now we're trying to play some defense, get a stop, trying to make up for it. This point guard's absolutely going crazy on the dribble moves. He's going to pass out of it. They're going to give it to the hot hand, of course, and he's going to knock down a 3 to push their lead up to 4 points with 17 seconds remaining. We have a couple people on us. We immediately get it out of our hands. We're trying to look for an open 3 ball out here. The ball gets passed around. I have a little bit of space, but look at Shai's ability to get to the free throw line. We're showing it off right there. Late contest. We're able to get 3 free throws out of it though, as we had ourselves a little bit of space, and we get sent to the line on the late closeout. We go 3 of 3 from the free throw line right there. Clutch free throws from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as right here, we're going to put their point guard on the line. If he makes 2, we'll be down by 3, but he misses the first one. He's going to knock down the second one though. So we are going to be down by 2 with 4 seconds remaining after 3 huge free throws from Shai. Can we either tie this thing up or get a win with the 3 ball right here? You guys see Shai. We're going to be trying to get open for the ball. They're going to pick us up. 2 people are on us. They do a good job giving it to the power forward. Look at the shooting guard moving off ball off the screen. He's going to knock that one down. Our best 3-point shooter all game gets himself a wide open look. Beautiful play right there as we pick up ourselves 31 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists in that one, and 3 huge free throws to get us back into the game. And the shooting guard is able to close it out. And so now moving on to our third game out here in the random rec with the reigning MVP. We're going to be playing off ball in this one at the shooting guard position, showing a little bit of what this build can do off ball. As you guys are going to see, we're going to be wide open for so long, just waiting for the ball to come our way. Eventually it does, and we're able to knock down the wide open 3 ball off the catch and shoot right there. So now we're going to be up by 2. Ball's going to end up back in shooting guard Shai's hands. We're going to put on a nice little dribble move right there. And I believe that was Jamal Murray's floater animation in the paint as we're able to knock that one down. And then once again, we're going to show off this steal rating into another driving layup. That one's going to be a nice little Euro step finish, showing off that 85 steal rating that we have on our build. Now we're going to have the ball in the corner. We obviously put a little bit of post game on our Shai build, 70 on the post control right there. We also have ourselves gold post fade phenom after a max +1. So we're going to calmly knock down our first post fade out here in the rec. And then we're going to get ourselves another catch and shoot off ball as we knock that one down. Now we're going to get ourselves a nice little bump steal right there. We don't get credited for the steal, but we were the ones to knock it out of his hands. And surprisingly, they do call it our ball, even though it looked like it was off Shai. We see a wide open alley-oop attempt. Our teammate wasn't ready for it, but he is going to clean it up for our first assist of the game. Now dribbling 2 feet in the paint. We're going to go to that nice little dribble pull-up animation from Shai right there, calmly knocking that one down for our 14th point on the game. Now going over to the corner, showing off that 83 ball on our build. This Shai build, he can easily play off ball, whether he's at point guard, shooting guard. Even if we had to play a small forward, I'm still pretty confident that this build could get it done with our 6'6" height and of course our 6'11" wingspan out here, as we're going to play some pretty good defense, but they're going to send a nice little back cut right there and finish it off in the paint. So our lead is going to be cut to 12 out here. We do have our takeover active. We're going to come to the ball. Point guard passes it off to us. We're going to get into this mid-range with our takeover active. Go to our go-to shot. You guys see gold shifty shooter lighting up there off that ankle breaker play. Now our matchup, he's going to do a great job at creating some space right there with the escape move. But we're going to leak off the miss, show off that 70 driving dunk rating that our SGA build has. And at the end of that first half, we are going to pick up player of the half. Beautiful job playing the shooting guard in this one, as we do go off for 21 points. And we also pick up a couple assists out there, shooting 100% and a nice little 11-point lead on the game. So now jumping into this third quarter, 3 minutes remaining. Look at that beautiful steal right there into a nice little Euro step, getting a little bit of fancy with an open lane. Why not? Shai, he obviously has a lot of fanciness to his game, as now we're going to calmly knock down a basic little catch and shoot in the corner. And right here off the jump ball play, we're going to show off our 85 speed in transition, go with a little scoop layup, get it off quickly before we do get blocked, almost with chase down animation right there, but we were able to finish that one off nicely. Now a little pump fake here in the mid-range. We don't want to take it all the way to the rim with the rim protector down there, so we might as well pop that one up with a little float game right there in the paint. Now we're going to get a great contest right here. Gold challenger lighting up as we're able to contest the opposing shooting guard. We're able to get into the paint in transition and show off that footwork that Shai plays with in real life, being patient. Now post go-to shot, why not? We're absolutely feeling it in this game with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander late in the fourth quarter as we put the dagger into our opponent. 34 points in that one, playing off ball, 2 assists, 2 steals to go along with it. And we do go 15 of 18 from the field. And now sliding over to our fourth and final game out here in the random rec, you guys see we have ourselves a Shai on Shai matchup. In this last one, our opponent, he had himself an SGA build. We have ourselves an SGA build. We're going to be going head to head here to see who the best SGA is, as he tries to get himself a dunk animation. Somehow we turn it over. That guy stole the ball while he was on the ground, I'm pretty sure. So we pick up an unfortunate turnover right there, but we're going to try to get back into play right here, and they're going to knock down the 3 ball as we're going to be down by 4. in this first quarter. But of course, we're going to be trying to prove who the best Shai is out here in this game, as we're able to work around the screen right there and get a nice little scoop animation to pick up our first 2 points on the game. Now our opposing Shai falls asleep, so we're just going to calmly knock down that 3-ball right there. Gold set shot specialist activating once again. Now we see the center open, cutting wide open for an alley-oop, but he's too excited. He's immediately pressing square right there, so we do pick up another turnover out here. Look at this beautiful footwork from Shai, as we're going to go to a nice Euro step in the paint right there and cap it off with a green release. Now, once again, our opponent, he's going to be helping out down low, and that's a mistake, leaving Shai wide open with his improved 3-ball that he is shooting with out here in the NBA today. Currently shooting at 45% from 3, which is absolutely lethal. Now, once again, though, we're going to get back into that paint, showing off that silver physical finisher right there as we finish through a little bit of contact, as we're able to pick up our first steal of this game. And it eventually does turn into 3 points, as our teammate is able to knock down a corner 3-ball. How about we pick up another steal out here, steal number 2 this time, off the double team. And then we're going to pass it up to our teammate, who calmly knocks down another 3-ball. And how about one more steal out here? We're going for 3 in a row, playing the lane. You guys see our Shai matchup. He decided to quit out of this one. He decided that our Shai build was a little bit too much for him out here, as we're going to pick up our 3rd steal of this game, as now we got to get back on defense. Our teammate's going to turn over the ball, but we're going to make up for it with a beautiful hustle play. Shai's wingspan, it's not only useful when it comes to steals, but also coming up with blocks. He actually comes up with probably more blocks than people would expect. If you watch his highlights, he actually does get a lot of blocks out there. But now, once again, getting back into that mid-range bag, a nice little step back animation right there. Then we're gonna hop into the post, calmly knock down a nice little post fade animation with that gold post fade phenom badge, lighten up. Now we do have 22 points on the game. Why not pick up our 5th assist out here, as our team is really starting to break out this lead now in the 4th quarter with a 21-point lead. Another great step back animation from SGA, as we're able to calmly knock that one down from the mid-range. And then our 5th steal of the game, 5 steals in this one from the reigning MVP. And now a realistic animation right there, as we're able to draw the foul, slicing into the lane. We're going to bump into our defender, and we're able to earn 2 free throws at the line. Of course, we do go 2 of 2 at the line right here with our 82 overall free throw rating. And then for the last highlight of this game, with a massive lead, why not cap it off where Shai makes his money in that mid-range, as we go for 28 points in that last one. We had ourselves a little SGA matchup, but our opponent, he decided to quit out of that one early. We do finish that one off with 5 steals as well, really showcasing the 2-way capability that this SGA has. But yeah, there it is, recreating Shai's game realistically out there in the random rec. And as you guys can see, with this build, we're able to impact the game on both sides of the court. This build is honestly so much fun, definitely the most fun I've had on the defensive end when it comes to perimeter defense. That's going to be this Shai build. And yeah, this definitely won't be the last time that we're bringing out SGA on the channel. So if you guys do want to see some more of this build or any other realistic builds in the future, definitely do consider hitting that subscribe button. Drop a like on this video, and in the comment section, let me know what NBA player you would like to see next. And if you did make it to this point in the video, I really do greatly appreciate it. Your guys' interaction on these videos, it makes such a big difference. So if you made it to this point in the video, it really does help out. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, man, that's gonna do for this one. So I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.